In this short tutorial, I'm going to show you how to connect your calendar booking link, right? Your Schedule Once calendar booking link into your Clickfunnels funnel. This takes you about 30 seconds, super simple. So you're inside your booking page is using just as example a fit camp. You're going to go down to share and publish. And up here, it says website embed. Click that, copy the code. Now I'm going to pull up the ClickFunnels account. And remember, this is your funnel, right? Lead magnet, thank you page, apply page, confirmation page. This is your apply page. Click edit page. There is an orange custom JavaScript /HTML code box. All you got to do is click that, open code editor, and paste. Click off and click save. And then we're going to, in this short video, I'm going to show you how to get your applicants, people who apply on your Wufoo application page, and when they hit submit, to then redirect to your confirmation page. So this is the confirmation page that people will see, right? They came into your funnel through Manychat. They went to the thank you page. Then they went to the apply page. They booked a call using your Schedule Once calendar, which is embedded on the apply page. And then after they did that, Schedule Once automatically sent them to Wufoo to fill out your application. And then when they hit submit, it will redirect them to this page. So they're always staying in your funnel. This is really, really key. They have to stay inside your funnel. Now, obviously, you'll be making the edits I told you to make earlier. But how do we get people to go from the Wufoo form after they hit submit to then go to your confirmation page? So this is real simple. You're on your editor of your application, go to form settings, and then come down here. There's tracking, there's confirmation options. All you want to do is click redirect to website, and the link you're going to put here is going to be your url.com/confirmation. So once you fix your URLs, now this is 1000% important. You cannot be using our URL, obviously, and you know how to change your URL. You can go into, when you open your account, it'll have you put in your URL. So that's defaulted. But you go to your confirmation page, and this link right here, and it should be something like https://joesfitness.com/confirmation. That URL, you're just going to drop right here. And then just make sure you hit save form. And that's that. It's super simple, and then after people go to your Wufoo application form, it'll automatically redirect them here, which tells them the homework to do and what to expect for their call. Now, this is key. Make sure you test your funnel. Go through your funnel and make sure that all the pages are going exactly the way they go. So when they come into here and they click, for example, this button, where does that take them? Okay, perfect. It takes them to your application page. Okay, when you have the embed in there, it's not showing because we don't have the code in there. You'll be putting your code in there. When they go through, actually book a call. After you book the call, does it then kick them to your Wufoo form? After the Wufoo form and they hit submit, does it go to the confirmation page? So you want to run through it. I highly advise opening an incognito window and testing it. Make sure that the flow is correct. All right, hope that helps. Thanks.
Hi everyone, this is Jessie, and in this video I will be going over how to set up your Manychat so that you get the automated messages when people opt in to download your lead magnet training. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to go to manychat.com it's going to look a little bit different than this. It's going to have you sign in to Facebook. So go ahead and do that. Log in with, your current Facebook account and whatnot. And then once you successfully log in, it should look like this. So the first thing that you want to be mindful of is up here, you want to make sure that it's the business page that you will be working off of, right? So if I go down here, as you can see, I have the other one here showing. So I'm making sure that it's under my business account or business page, which for the sake of this example, I set up a business page in my Facebook and it's called Jesse's Test Page. So please ensure that the correct business page is set up, because then that's going to link it to the right one. So from here, the first thing you are going to see again is the dashboard. Everything should be brand new. So we are going to go down to growth tools. Once you're in growth tools, you will probably have about 4 pre-made templates here, maybe 3. Just go ahead and delete them all. And also you should be in the pro plan. So I believe it should be about $10 a month, but definitely upgrade to the pro plan. You will not be able to edit some of the messages if you are in the free plan. So the free plan will not work. You have to upgrade to the pro plan. So before we do that, we are going to go down to settings and we're going to create a custom field. So on this tab here, it says custom fields. You're going to click on that. And we are just going to go ahead and create a new one. So new user field. The name, all it's going to be is email. Under type, you want to ensure that it's under text and just hit create. Oh, my caption was already used. So technically, if you walk through those steps, it's going to save it. As you can see here, I already have one, but essentially that's all I did. So now that you've created that, we're going to go to growth tools. And under growth tools, we are going to create a new one. So I already started one. I'm just going to go ahead and delete this so that we can start from scratch. So you're going to create a new growth tool. This is going to pop up. So for the sake of example, I'm going to put up here my business page name. So I'm going to put Jesse's Test Page and call it lead magnet, right? So you can literally name it whatever you want, whatever's going to help you differentiate it in the event that you move forward and start adding more things to your Manychat account. But for the sake of this example, I'm just going to keep it extremely basic. So then we're going to go down here where it says other growth tools, and you're going to click on Messenger Ref URL. Oops, there we go. So this is going to pop up. So then all you're going to do is click edit, right? So as you can see here, this is kind of already pre-built. However, I don't need this because I'm going to be building my own. So just exit out. And the first thing we're going to do is we are going to go to user input. So you're going to click on that. And as you can see here, it's showing me what my what the draft looks like. So it says enter your question, right? So this is actually going to be the first message that they see when they opt in. So for the sake of this example, I already drafted out what I'm going to write, and it's this right here. So, and you guys can use the exact same wording, just of course modify it to where it fits your niche and the title of your lead magnet and things of that nature. So I'm going to go back here, and all I'm doing is pasting it, right? So the first thing I'm going to work on is this part here. I'm going to delete the part that says name, so just go ahead and delete it. And once you delete that, we are going to go down here where this little dot is, and we're just going to click on first name. And then you're going to click first name. So the reason being why we're doing this is because whenever, let's say, Jenny opts in, for example, when she clicks on it, the first message that's going to pop up is this. So it's going to look like this part here, and it's going to say, hi, Jenny, here's the title of your lead magnet. In this training, I go over, and you're gonna put the 3 to 4 bullet points that you are addressing within your lead magnet training. So for the sake of this example, I am going to change this, and again, literally just put whatever the title of your lead magnet is. So I'll just leave it here for now, but it's pretty straightforward. I mean, if my lead magnet was how to get a 6-pack in 2 weeks, then I would literally type that there. And in this training, I go over the 3 bullet points. So let's say how to have mindful indulgences while still getting a 6-pack within the 2 weeks. Or in this training, you know, I teach you how to not be on any restrictive diet while still reaching your fitness goals. You know, whatever the 3 to 4 or 5 main bullet points that you're teaching in your lead magnet, just write them out here, no different than how you would in a landing page, so to speak. So again, for the sake of the example, I'm not gonna edit it. I'm just gonna leave it here. That way you guys are able to pause this video and take a screenshot of what I have written here. That way you guys can literally just plug and play, so to speak, literally just plug in whatever your lead magnet title is and whatever it is that you're teaching. So you're gonna leave this part here, grab the training, I'm sorry. I'll message you here personally when I'm online. This has to be here because you're instructing the person to go ahead and go download the training, and you're letting them know that you will be reaching out to them, right? So you're already prefacing it, so they expect that message from you. The next thing is this part here. You definitely want to leave that, because if for whatever reason someone clicked on your banner or your post or just your link that gets them here, if it wasn't on accident, maybe they don't want your training and you know they want to opt out, so all they have to do is type stop. So just as long as we let them know, we have to leave that there. Then down here you are saying enter your email address to get the training. So after this part, I'm actually going to include some emojis. That way I instruct them to leave their email below. So let's see, where's the hand? Okay, here. So let's just do a few. Okay. So as you can see, everything that we've done is going to reflect here. That might be overkill, so we'll just leave one. Yeah, so just go ahead and do that. I mean, even up here, you can throw another emoji. Let's throw the little hand that's waving. Where is it? You know, we can put that there just to be a little more friendly, a little more warm, but, you know, getting the point across. So now that we've done that, we're going to click on this part here that says save response to a custom field, and you're going to click on email, right? So then here, this is all done now. The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to write a text. So the next message is, I have it right over here. We're going to put this there. So I'm going to drop this down. Okay, so after this is the point where the lead inputs their email. So then the next message that they will receive automatically looks like this. Amazing, here's the link. So of course, change this to be your thank you page, because in your thank you page is where you're gonna have the downloadable lead magnet for them. So put that there, swap it out. So for example, ours would be, oops. go. So this is a thank you page, right? Here you should technically have your lead magnet link. So literally just copy and paste that URL, and then we are going to go in here and we're going to swap that over. So then now this is completed. You're basically instructing them to go download the training, and you remind them again that you will be messaging them here personally later on when you're online, right? So now that this is complete, we are just gonna hit preview because we wanna make sure that, you know, it looks correct. So then I'm gonna go to open Messenger. This isn't live yet, so that's why I'm doing preview. So it says, hi, Jesse, here's the title, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great, let me get this training. Right? So as you can see, the moment I replied back with my email, it said, amazing, here's the link, blah, blah, blah. So then I click on the link. Great, here I can go ahead and download the Core Sales Playbook. I can watch this. So this is how yours should look like by now. And again, we were in the preview page, so this isn't live yet. So all I'm gonna do here really quickly, for example, if I were to write stop, it's automatically gonna let the customer know that they've successfully unsubscribed from my business page. If I, for whatever reason, wanna subscribe again, I just hit subscribe, and it adds me back into the Manychat database. So again, stop, and it opts me out. So now that that is complete, you are gonna click on publish. So then we're gonna go back to Growth Tools, and you're gonna click on it. And in order for you to, actually, no, we don't wanna do that. Let's go back. So then just click on next, and then if you want to grab, this is super important, you always want to know how to grab your Messenger reference URL. So again, you're in Growth Tools, click on the one that we just built out, and then click next, or if you're in this page, just click over to setup, and this is your URL. So that's what you will be using in your Facebook banners. If you're running ads, this is the link that you would put in your ads. So when they click on it, it kicks them right over. So for example, this is now live. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the link. And you'll see that Jesse's test page is talking to Jesse, right? Again, it's automatic. I go ahead, or the lead goes and puts their email. And automatically I get prompted to download the training, right? And then after this message, you as the leader, you can just go into Messenger and start engaging in the conversations with them. So, you know, introduce yourselves and just go through the Rainmaker Mastery Messenger script with them, and that is it. But in terms of setting up, that is all you have to do with Manychat. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the new live streams that we will be conducting. And it's specifically for the Messenger Mastery script. Hey everyone, this is Jessie, and in this video I'm going to show you how to adjust your settings so that when people opt in to your Manychat Messenger, they cannot bypass having to input their email. So it's going to be a requirement for them to put their email in order for them to get the downloadable, or not the downloadable link, but the link to your thank you page. So the first step is you're going to go into your Growth Tools under Widgets, and then you're going to go to the widget that you had worked on. From there, you're going to go to Edit. And in the first box here, if you click on it, you want to make sure that the reply type is set under email. This is super important. If you have it set under text, what's going to happen is they are going to be able to just input anything besides email and still be able to get the second message, which is the amazing, here's the link. So for us to make it to where they don't bypass that, the reply type has to be set under email. So then it's going to say here, retry message if the answer is invalid. So whenever someone replies with like, hi, how are you? Or anything outside of an actual email address, they're automatically going to get this message here. And if they try to continue to have a conversation without inputting their email, the autoresponder is going to continue to send this until they actually input their email. So it's a really quick and simple setting that you can adjust really easily. Again, just go into the first box under reply type, ensure that it is set under email, and just go ahead and hit publish. So just to walk you through what it looks like now, we'll go to preview. So let's say I write instead of email. Now the person's going to be prompted to input a correct email address. If I try to continue disregarding that, again, it's going to continue prompting me to input an email. So that's all it is. It's just a quick, simple fix. Again, first box, reply type, ensure that it's set under email, and hit publish. Hope that helps you guys. Thanks.
All right, so at this point, you have all of your pieces put together. So how do we tie them all together? Well, inside Manychat, as Jesse showed you, here is your messenger reference URL. So what you're going to do is you're going to copy URL to your clipboard. You're going to go to bit.ly.com, and let's shorten your link. Boom. We're going to copy that. Then back on your Facebook personal page and your business page and on your group, you would, under your editor, like edit profile, and then you would put click here, and you're going to put your bit.ly link you just made right here. So now this is driving leads into your Manychat funnel. You're also going to do that on your intro. So if, for example, you are in the weight industry or fitness industry and you put, want to learn how to get in shape fast, click, and you're going to put that link here as well. Over on your Facebook group, on your cover, you're going to put that here as well with your call to action. On your Facebook business page, under Learn More, Edit button, you are going to put that bit.ly link as well. So let's say that we do Learn More. Actually, that's not what I want. Let's see here, Learn More. The point is under the Edit the button, you're going to put that link. You also are going to put it on the cover. Right? So it might look a little different on yours. That's why I don't like to do tutorials on Facebook setup. I just want to tell you the concept because they could change the editor button and how that works. But regardless, you'd put it here. Now this doesn't have it here. This is the wrong link. We'll fix that, but you get the point. You put click here and you put your bit.ly link. So now what that means is your Facebook business page, your personal page, and your group are all sending leads into your Manychat funnel. So now you can actually have a conversation with them and book a call, which we'll be covering in the next training. Thanks.
Hey everyone, this is Jessie, and in this training I will be reviewing the Rainmaker Messenger Mastery. So in this training we're going to review the script. I have a real example of a real conversation that we had, so I'm going to walk you through all the sequential steps of it. Now, there's a couple things that I definitely really need to stress, and the first is do not delete anything or take out any portions of the script that you either may not like or may not see fit. Reason being is that everything in this script has a purpose. It's laid out in a very sequential framework, and so if we eliminate something or if we add something to it, the flow and the framework of the conversation will not work. So it's super important that you guys do not delete or do not take out any of the portions. Secondly, please do not add anything to the script outside of what's highlighted in yellow. Anything that needs to be replaced in the script, I went ahead and highlighted it in yellow, meaning it's simply plugging in either the customer's name or the lead's name, your name, your niche, what it is that you teach, and things of that nature. Outside of that, do not add additional questions to the script. Do not add additional talking points. Again, this script has been tested and it is highly effective only when followed 100%. If you start adding things to it, it's probably not going to be as effective, and more than likely you'll sit on Messenger for hours having multiple conversations, and what's going to happen is you'll probably get frustrated as to why these conversations are not leading to a call. So to save you time and for you to be extremely effective in your conversations, follow the script 100%. I know that sounds repetitive, but it is super important that you guys understand that. So diving into this, what is the purpose of it? Well, the purpose of this is to really uncover if the lead is a good fit for you, if you can actually help them, and if so, you want to lead them to book a call with you. So a few things that I definitely want to talk about is in terms of deviating from the conversation. Do not deviate. Stay on topic, follow the script, because what happens is it goes off topic and then, you guys start talking about, the latest Starbucks Frappuccino that came out. And then at that point, it gets really hard to reel the conversation back to the core focus. So it's really important that you do not deviate. So with that being said, you definitely want to be friendly, but you always want to be professional because you are the expert, you are the authority. Ultimately, the point of the conversation, it's not to be their friend. You're really here to show them that you're the expert leader and that you can help them. Give them that realization that you can give them the results that they're looking for. So, always be friendly, but always stay professional. Stay away from asking questions like, how was your weekend? Or, I see in your Facebook avatar image that you have a dog, or anything of that nature. All that small talk, it's unnecessary. So don't worry about that. Stick to the script. And yeah, do not deviate. Another thing is always listen to what they're really telling you. What do I mean by this? Meaning, don't just go through the motions. Don't treat this just as a script. Yes, it is a script, but it's a script because it's also a framework. And you really want to listen to what they're telling you, and you really, truly need to be able to understand what it is that they're telling you so that you can see if they're a good fit for you. And that's, ultimately the whole goal of this conversation. And of course, you definitely want to be mindful of your verbiage. You never want to be in agreement with what they say, or else you're essentially validating their feelings and their current approach. And by doing so, it eliminates their need to seek help. So be mindful of that. And what I mean by verbiage is saying things like, oh my gosh, I completely understand. Don't say that. Or saying things like, oh, yes, you're absolutely right. Just anything that's going to validate what they say, do not say that. You actually want to do the opposite. Or you want to say neutral things that kind of make them second guess themselves and kind of discredit them. Meaning saying things like, I see, or, oh, wow. Got it. I hear you. Oh, no. Phrases like that it acknowledges that you are hearing them, or that, you know, you read what it is that you said. However, it comes across a little, you're disagreeing with them in a polite way, in a subtle way. And it's going to get their wheels turning in their head, because it's going to make them think, well, am I doing something wrong? And you definitely want to get them into that realization. So really, really be the authority, lead the conversation, and really stick to the script. So with that being said, let's dive right into it. So as you can see here, I have the script, and I actually have a real example. Some people I know can be visual, so hopefully this provides clarity as to how the flow of the conversation is, what each phase looks like, and just provide a good understanding of the overall messenger mastery. So the first part is the introduction. You know, you really want to introduce yourself, so, you know, just keep it simple, and it's here laid out for you. All you have to say is, hi, my name is, or hi blank, my name is blank. So hi Jenny, my name is Jessie. I'm currently online right now and have a few minutes to provide support for those who may feel blank. So the reason why I'm letting them know that I have a few minutes is because that's going to give them urgency to respond. It's letting them know that I'm only here for a limited time. So if you want support, or if you want me to provide some insight, you probably want to engage with me, right? So that's kind of the nuance behind this line here. So in this part, the highlighted yellow part is really just replacing, you know, what it is that they feel either stuck with, overwhelmed with, or frustrated with in terms of your niche or your offer. So for example, if you notice here, this person, Jenna, I went ahead and introduced myself. I let her know I was online for a little bit, helping a few course creators, and, you know, providing some help on how they can get unstuck. So my next question was, where are you currently at with your course, which is going into phase 1. So phase 1, present condition. So here you really want to make them feel comfortable with you. Reason being is because if they feel comfortable with you, they're more likely to open up, and it's going to build trust. So you want to learn about what they're currently doing and struggling with XYZ. XYZ meaning, you know, your niche. So by learning about their present condition, you will be able to better understand them and actually help them, right? So here I have a few openers that you can go ahead and use. So you have 4 variations of it. Of course, only use one, whatever you feel most comfortable with or whatever makes the most sense. And again, the highlighted yellow part, you replace it with your niche, your offer, your topic. So tell me about, you know, let's say, for example, you're in the fitness industry. And, you know, you teach people how to have a 6-pack. So tell me about your fitness journey. Or what's your biggest challenge with your fitness journey right now? Or where are you currently at with your fitness journey? Or how are things with your fitness journey coming along, right? So a good example here, you know, again, I asked, so where are you currently at with your course? So here, they'll generally respond, they'll tell you what stage they're in. So for example, here she said, I'm early on in creation, has taught a few live classes, and currently tweaking the outline for an online course. Perfect. So now I understand kind of where she's at. However, this still doesn't really tell me too much. It doesn't really give me too much information in terms of, I don't really know much about her business. I know she's wanting to create an online course, but I have no idea what niche she's in or what her course is even about. So again, the purpose of this conversation is to truly understand where they're coming from or really listen to them. So for me to understand, I kind of need to know the background info. So point blank ask, nice, what niche? What is it about? So from there, she said she's in holistic medicine, teaches courses for consumers versus practitioners. Okay, great. So now I definitely have a better understanding of, you know, her business. So from there, we move on to phase 2. Phase 2 is the goal timeline. So here, you really want to uncover what their ultimate result and goal is and what the timeline looks like. So why is it that we want to know this? Because this will be indicative as to what their urgency to solve this problem is. So there's a couple ways you can go about it, 2 variations. So you can ask, you know, what does the next 3 to 6 months look like for you? What is it that you want to achieve within that time with this? Or you can say, so what's your goal? What is it that you want to achieve in the next 3 to 6 months, right? Very direct. So for example, here, you'll see this is phase 2. We said, gotcha. So what's your goal in the next 3 to 6 months? Where are you looking to take things? Revenue-wise, etc. I get a little more specific. Another thing is, it's okay to use casual verbiage. So I said, gotcha. You know, it's almost like text verbiage. It makes it a little more warm, I think. So definitely you can tweak the wording here to have that more laid back approach if need be. It's not necessary, but again, it's how I went about it here. So I asked and she responded. And after you ask this in phase 2, they are really gonna just be completely open with you. They are gonna share, you know, their goals and what it is that they want to achieve. So here she said, you know, she wants to launch her online course and make sales. She doesn't really know what's realistic. So her primary goal is 1K and then her secondary 3K. And then, you know, again, she's not sure if those are realistic or not, but she's thinking of pricing her course anywhere from $3 to $500. So she responded, which is great. Now I know what her goals look like. I understand what niche she's in, what she's teaching. So now I'm getting a better understanding of her business. Sometimes you will come across people who may not respond to your initial question asking them what their goals are. Why is it? It's very forward. But if they don't respond, you can say this part here. I can let you know whether that's doable or not. After you say this, 9 times out of 10, the person will respond, because if for whatever reason they felt that asking what their goal was a little too forward, here you're explaining to them why it is that you're asking. So you're not prying, you're really just asking because you want to see if maybe, you know, whether that's doable or not. You should probably wait, I would say maybe 20 to 30 minutes after sending the original message. If they don't respond to you after 20 minutes, then I would go ahead and send this. Reason being why some people may not respond is either they were on their phone and they maybe got a phone call and, you know, obviously they stopped responding, or maybe they lost reception because they were going into the subway, or, you know, it could be multiple factors. So if someone doesn't respond immediately, that's okay. But this is a great line to kind of nudge them and remind them that, you know, you were in the middle of a conversation. So generally that will be enough to get them back in. So after that, we move on to phase 3. Phase 3 is their current approach and strategy. So here you really want to learn what they currently think they need to do in order to get the result, right? So what is it that they're currently doing that will get them to their ultimate goal? Once you uncover this, you want them to second guess their approach and their strategy. Why? Because by doing so, it makes them more curious about seeking help. So here's a few variations of how you can go about it. So the verbiage, again, it's the same, it's a little bit different, but it's a different variation, but ultimately it's still asking the same question. You're wanting to really understand what their current approach is in order to get to the results. So for example, let's say you're in the fitness niche again. reason why I use fitness is because everybody understands fitness, so it's very broad. So let's say, you send, I hear you. How do you plan on getting your 6-pack in the next 3 to 6 months? Or I hear you, what's your approach to getting your 6-pack? I see, I may be able to provide some advice. What's your plan to get your abs? I hear you, what do you think you may struggle with when trying to get a 6-pack? So these all ultimately are the same thing, just they're worded very differently. So as you can see here I am, this is phase 3. So I said, happy to share some advice, but let me ask you, what do you think is blocking you from hitting those goals right now, right? So she replies and she said, I have been stuck on the course creation process for a long time, right? The reason why I'm pausing is because this is very powerful in itself. Here, she's told me that she's been stuck in the course creation process for a long time. So what does that tell me? That tells me she's extremely frustrated at this point. Because if she wasn't, she wouldn't have emphasized the long time. So I know that. She said the filming, editing, figuring out which platform to use, which courses I want to create, I have several ideas, has been holding me back. Also, I suppose fear that I will go through all that work to create a course and then nobody will want to buy it. She really opened up, right? She shared a lot. She shared her fears with me. She shared her frustrations with me. So this tells me she clearly is trusting enough to open up to me. So so far we've done a great job at building trust. And now I really know what it is that she's done so far, what her frustrations are and whatnot. So going back to the script, once they respond, you want to discredit whatever they say. So you can say something like, well, you really, going back to the fitness example, you can say something like, well, you really don't need to do 1,000 sit-ups to achieve that, if that's what they said, or he or she. You can, if for example the person said, oh well, I'm doing a plant-based diet to get a 6-pack. So I can say something like, well, you can go about it that way, but it's not as effective anymore, or it takes a little bit much longer. Or let's say they said that they're doing the keto diet. I can say something like, that used to work, but there's better ways to achieve abs. So here, as you can see, I said something like, oh no, I mean, it sounds like your strategy is broken, with a sad face, right? Sad emoji because it keeps it a little friendly. It doesn't come across as harsh as, if I had just sent, sounds like your strategy is broken. So I'm kind of making her, realize that her strategy is broken. So then now she's going to have that belief and she's going to be more receptive to hearing what I have to say. So going back to the script, the next, after we send one of 3 variations here, then you want to get their permission to give them your advice/feedback. So you can say, are you open to some advice that you should focus on to really get to your goal? Or you can say, are you open to some insight that will actually get you to your goal, right? How does that translate into Messenger? Here it is. Are you open to some honest feedback on what you should actually focus on if you want to get to the 3K goal specifically, right? Reason why I wrote 3K is because up here, she said the secondary goal was 3K. So I'm making it a point to include it so that she knows it's a genuine conversation. It makes the person feel that I'm actually listening to them by reiterating what they said to me, right? And I'm also asking her for her permission to give her advice and feedback, because you always want to wait for that yes. You don't want to give them any feedback because it's a form of NLP. It's a subtle form of NLP because you're leading the conversation. Ultimately, yes, you want to give them that perspective shift. You want to give them that feedback, but you want to make the prospect or the lead think that it was their idea or that it came from them, that they're the ones seeking help, right? So go ahead and ask them for their permission first.
So as you can see here, she said, yes, please, exclamation mark. So I can tell this lead here was very eager to hear what I have to say. So once they give you permission and say yes, you're going to move on to phase 4, right? So here we are, phase 4, kill the sacred cows. So in phase 4, you want to give them a perspective shift and kill the sacred cows. So really show them how what they've done in the past or what they're currently doing will not get them to their ultimate goal and result. Or what they're currently doing is going to take them a longer time to achieve if they continue to do so. So here you really want to give them the bird's eye view of your approach that's going to give them the result much faster and or effectively. So you always want to give the what, but never the how, because you are teaching the how in your program, in your training, in your consulting or whatever. So always teach them the what, not the how. So here I have well, it's not a variation. This is basically the next message that you'll be sending. So generally, a lot of people I talk to think, blank, the strategy approach they told you they were doing. So going back to the fitness example, generally a lot of people I talk to think that they need to follow the keto diet. Remember this person told me they were doing the keto diet, so I'm gonna put what they told me they were doing here. So generally a lot of people I talk to think they need to do the keto diet, so that will help them achieve their 6-pack, which is the goal, the result. What happens when they do this is, and here you want to put the consequence of the ineffective strategy slash approach that they're doing, right? So for the keto, what happens, this is actually pretty factual. What happens when people follow the keto diet is that they know it's a high-fat diet. However, they do it the wrong way, meaning they start to eat, fried foods, because guess what? Fried foods has fat in it, right? As opposed to eating healthy fats. And by doing that, what happens is you may start to gain weight. You may not see the results because you're not eating the right sources of fat and you're not following the diet correctly. So, I'll say something to that degree. And from there, you say what you really need to focus on is blank, the new solution, giving the what, not the how, right? So my solution for this is no, in order for you to get abs, you just need to count your macros. I'm not telling them what they need to do. I'm not telling them that they have to have, 180 grams of carbs and 40 grams of fat, in addition to doing a high intensity training 5 times a week. I'm not giving them the specifics. All I said was, you need to count your macros, or maybe with the correct training program in place, right? I'm not getting into the specifics of what the training program looks like. I'm not getting into the specifics of what their unique macro count should be. All I'm telling them is that I'm giving them the what, not the how. And after I say that, you always want to end it with, do you get what I mean? Or does that make sense? Reason being is because you want them to confirm that they're understanding you, right? So to see this translated into the conversation, it's right over here. So going back to this example, I said, okay, so here we have, so a lot of course creators think they need to sell their course, and here I put at a low price point to get more sales or have multiple prices to accommodate everyone. Why did I say that? Because earlier on in the conversation, she told me she was thinking of either maybe playing with multiple courses, or she had multiple ideas, which tells me that maybe she's entertaining the idea of having multiple courses. And she also stated that she was thinking maybe her course would be anywhere in the price range of $3 to $500. $3 is extremely low for a course, so that's why I inserted it here. So, again, a lot of course creators think they need to sell their course. That is or no, I'm sorry, I said a lot of course creators think they need to sell their course at a low price point to get more sales or have multiple prices to accommodate everyone. And that's the strategy, the approach they told you, right? But this is, now we're future pacing. In this part here where I said, but when you sell to everyone, you sell very little or nothing at all. I'm future pacing, meaning I'm showing her what the consequence of her following that ineffective strategy or approach will look like, right? The consequence, the ineffective strategy, this part here. So that is, but when you sell to everyone, you sell very little or nothing at all, which is true. So here we said what you really need to focus on is the solution that gives you the what, not the how. The best way to hit your income goal is to keep it super simple because simple sells. So I'm going to give her the what, not the how, by saying one premium course, one funnel, and one message to a hyper-targeted avatar. This reduces customer confusion and allows you to get the best results for your students, which establishes you as the authority in your niche and allows you to very easily hit your monthly revenue goal. Does that make sense, right? So as you can see here, I gave her the what, not the how. I didn't say exactly what it is that she needed to do. I didn't tell her what her course should be priced at. I didn't say the specific strategy that she should be following. I gave her a bird's eye view. So think of it in terms of that. So scrolling up a little bit, back to the script. If they start to ask questions, move them to phase 5, which is the next phase to book the call. And we'll review that shortly. Majority of the time, they're either going to say yes, or it makes sense, or yep. And that's okay if they say, but essentially they're going to confirm that what you said makes sense or that they understand what you're saying. So if they say yes, you definitely want to get them to inquire a little bit more. So you can say something like, did you need more clarity? I can give you more feedback, but what is it that you want to hear? Or you can say, so what questions do you have? Point blank ask. Here, there was no need for me to ask that because her response was, yes, that makes sense. How do I know what to charge? Right? So she's already asking me a question. She said, I've been so hung up on that for a really long time. So since she's asking questions, remember, if they start asking questions, move to phase 5. I went ahead and moved to phase 5. So here again, if they say yes, or if they start asking questions, move to phase 5. If for whatever reason they're like, great, thank you, I'm gonna figure it out on my own, or if they just come across not interested, you'll know. And if that's the case, just send them to your Facebook group, because the reality is the timing may not be right, and that's okay. You don't want to force something if the timing isn't right. However, having them in your Facebook group, you can stay in touch with them. She may not work with you today, but they might come back in 2 weeks. They might come back in a month because they continue their approach and they see no results. So then they're more inclined to, want to get a coach or a professional to help them. So, feel it out, but you'll know if they're interested or not. And again, if they start asking questions, that's perfect, because that tells you that they're very curious. They're looking at you as the authority. So what happens next is we move to phase 5. So phase 5 is, book the call. So in this phase, all you're doing is prompting them to book a call with you. So you can say something like this, or just literally say this. I have to run, but when you have some time, I'm happy to jump on a call to give you more insight and get you to blank. Sound good? So going back to the fitness example. I have to run, but when you have some time, I'm happy to jump on a call to give you more insight on how you can get to your six-pack much faster. Sound good? So how does that translate here? I have a different variation of it, but ultimately it's still saying the same thing. So as you can see here, I didn't respond because since they're so curious, I really want